Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Pow Block episode 194 live here on Mixer and Twitch. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me as always is that retro code, Eddie V.
May the fourth character be with you.
The fourth character? Who's the fourth character?
Whatever video game that you playing that you can pick the four characters.
Oh, well, usually the fourth character is like, yeah.
For us in Ninja Turtles, it's Raphael.
Fair.
That's a shame that we know that one by heart.
That's fair. I mean, look, it's only fair because he has the shortest range weapon.
Yes.
He's, clearly the slowest.
He's the fastest.
No, he's the slowest.
He's the fastest. Donatello's slow.
He's the slowest. Okay. He's the slowest.
In other words, when I come down, I gotta prove you wrong.
I mean,
before
I have
Corey.
it all. I have it all on my Super Nintendo Classic here.
Corey, we're gonna be laughing and not even thinking about that. You're gonna be like, get him. You're gonna see the Foot Clan being thrown to the screen.
I mean, that's fair. You're not wrong. But how you doing, Ed? How's your week going? I mean, we kind of had a short week before recording again. We're recording on Monday, so happy Star Wars Day, everybody! Yay. Star Wars! It's Monday, May 4th, as of this recording. How's your weekend heading into your 6-day work week?
The weekend was a mess. I kind of been feeling mixed today, mixed emotions. Of course, hyped about Pow Block, just waiting for news to come in, seeing positivity for some things, and kind of a little bit heartbroken about our video game community. Not so much as Boss Rush, but congratulations to Naughty Dog. They Neil Druckmann came on and posted that The Last of Us 2 went golden. He was thanking the team and thanking even some of the fans who sit in love and support and stuff. And I like the fact that he said that no matter what you see, no matter what you read or whatever, to really understand what is this game about and everything that got put into it, you gotta play the game. And it was, I think VG247, one of the writers, he wrote about fan hate, and it boggles my mind that even with the news that they found some individuals who leaked it and they're still investigating, is that people are still mad at Naughty Dog for something that they didn't do. And it's sad to see that people are still upset and still hurt. And I just don't understand why, definitely in this time that we're in, why people would just hate on the company or get upset about something being leaked. That you still have to play the game to experience it and stuff. I might have some problem with some Naughty Dog's games, but like I said, they are a talented team of developers. They do make some great games. Some of it story-wise sometimes to me doesn't make sense, but I don't fault them for their gameplay or anything like that. It just be some story beats. And it was just kind of heartbroken to still think that even after what happened, there are certain gamers in the community who are still upset and still angry at Naughty Dog, no matter what. And it's just like, we gotta be better than this. We can't be mad at them. We don't know if they were in crunch time. The game got delayed. This is about the third or fourth delay that they had to do to polish stuff up. They weren't trying to crunch it or anything, because guess what? The game was ready in February, but yet they had to push it back for more polish. This COVID-19 happened. They pushed it back indefinitely so they could get some more things worked on. So, it's just sad that we still have people upset about leaks and stuff. But if it was like a Nintendo leak or it was a Microsoft leak, wouldn't nobody be mad or anything? And it's just like, you can't you cannot be mad at Naughty Dog for anything. It's good that there are still a lot of gamers who are going to support Naughty Dog by picking up The Last of Us 2. I'm planning to do, hopefully within a week and a half. I'm trying to run through the whole first game so I can be ready for The Last of Us 2. And it just we got to be better. I even put on my Twitter page. I was just like, come on, everybody, let's play video games and be better to all. Because we got to do that. We cannot be mad and be upset. If you don't want to, if you feel like you know everything about The Last of Us 2, great for you. Don't buy the game.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it for people who are planning to buy it and ready to play the game. Because what if Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 got spoiled? Y'all would be pissed off at the person who leaked it and not Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't do that to Naughty Dog, and you cannot outburst your anger. You're gonna buy the game or you're not.
Yeah. No, I hear exactly what you're saying. Jesse and I talked a lot about it on Boss Rush this week, where it just sucks for something that they've been working on for 6 or 7 years at this point almost, and for some idiot to just take old files and leak them out. I mean, granted, old files are old files, but that doesn't mean they haven't been working on it, and that some of that, if not all of it, is still in the game. And I haven't been looking for leaks or anything, right? Like, I'm not even though I don't really care about the game, I do kind of plan on playing it eventually, and I don't want to be spoiled, right? Like, spoilers suck, right. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, don't be a jerk, don't be that guy. And now, like, now that Sony has kind of found out who it is and what they plan on doing to this person, like, this person is just not going to have whatever the rest of this person's life looks like is not going to be great. So,
right.
You not only did harm to the game and the people who have worked on it for so long, and all the companies involved, but you are not in a position to do anything else the rest of your life. So
right. And like I said, yes, we are a Nintendo podcast, and regardless of what I say for my opinion about Nintendo, I do my best to be fair to Microsoft and Sony, because I respect them as companies, and I respect the games and the hard work that go to them and buy them. I wouldn't have the opinions if I didn't go out and support them and buy their games. Like I said, I got nothing against PlayStation now. I got nothing against Game Pass. When a game comes out, whether it's physical or digital, I put my full money in it because I believe in that game. I want to see what they have to offer, and I want to see what experience they're going to give me, whether it's good or bad. Because I know a lot of people came together and put hours and time and sacrificed a lot of the stuff that they normally would be doing to make this product for us as gaming communities. Mm-hmm. So, I feel heartbroken because we need to be better. Now, hopefully, in time, people do become better than that. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I'm excited to talk about Pow Block. I'm excited to continue the game on my PlayStation and game on my Xbox. So, for the Boss Rush community, you guys been great. I haven't heard or seen any negative comments or any leaks or whatever. You guys literally been great. But if you guys have a PlayStation and still looking forward to Last of Us 2, I really do hope that you guys support it. Even if you're not going to get the game, the day of release, wish Naughty Dog congratulations on the release of their game. It's always good when sometimes a big game get released, and even if you're not buying it, let them know that, hey, thank you guys for putting all the work in to release this game. Congratulations. Congratulate sometimes a good company, because they've been through some ups and downs, and I think hopefully The Last of Us 2 is successful, which I think it is.
Yeah.
The thing is, I have to hurry up and be it because the Ghost of Tsushima come out on the 17th of July. And I'm just like, oh, dang it.
Yeah. that's that's something I want to talk about on Boss Rush next week. Is like, is Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima too close to each other? But we're kind of in our Nintendo segment right now, obviously. But The Last of Us is, even though like we're not like super hyped for it, right? It's still a lot of people's most anticipated game of the year right now, and it just sucks that people going to look for information on the game, whether they know these leaks are out there or not, might stumble across them, and the game's going to get spoiled for them, and it just sucks, man.
Right, and Sony needs, like, I don't feel like they're close to each other. I think Sony needs to make up the time for them being quiet about PlayStation 5 and not really having any first party titles really come out. The Predator game, that might be good. I haven't heard much, but I know people have been playing it. But I mean, that's just me for right now, because pretty much right now, once again, half the year belongs to Nintendo. Microsoft is trying to get their marketing and everything they need for Series X. That's their main priority. Sony's trying to do the same thing, but they had a few winches thrown in their plans. They could try to get that ready. Right now, Nintendo and maybe PC is taking the charge to give people something that they need at this time. And if Sony and Microsoft come in and they crush it, and Nintendo kind of fall back and try to work on their stuff, it's still going to be a good thing for Nintendo and gaming in general, because it's going to be like, okay, yes, you guys are working on some stuff, and we're happy to work because you got the 3 games we want: Breath of the Wild 2, Bayonetta 3, and Metro Prime 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever you want to do after that is all up to you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but the other thing, just to get out of the negative space for a minute, before we get into the real show, what did you think of the Assassin's Creed Valhalla reveal?
So
I know how I felt, but you weren't there when Jesse and I were talking about it. So
yeah, I'm excited for where they're going with it. I was kind of disappointed in, I guess, the reveal, because I thought there was going to be some gameplay for it. I was hoping.
Well, there is on Thursday. They said they were saving their gameplay for the Xbox Series X reveal stuff. So
I kind of feel like, this feels like it's going to be For Honor. Something about For Honor, and I guess the cutscene really made it. And then when he was just like, Odin is watching over us and stuff, and I'm like, this doesn't feel nothing Assassin's Creed, but I think it's going to work. It's just
the last 2 games really didn't feel like Assassin's Creed either, though. I mean, you said you're playing Origins right now a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm playing, obviously, I'm playing Odyssey a lot right now, and
that's why the TV is just like, ooh, Odyssey seems different now that I'm playing on this 4K TV. Origins, and that's why I text you. I'm just like, I might have to buy Odyssey when it's on sale.
Yeah,
for one.
I think this week a lot of those games are going to be on sale after the gameplay reveal because people will be excited for Assassin's Creed. I'm actually surprised they didn't have a sale this week, to be honest, after the reveal, because I think a lot of people after watching that trailer would have just bought a ton of Assassin's Creed stuff. I mean, I told you I got the Origins DLC because I want to play through that, and I even got those side-scrolling Chronicles games because
I did too. I have them on one, two. Did they do 2 of them or just one?
There's 3 of them.
There's 3 of them.
There's China. There's China, India, and Russia.
I think I got 2 of them. I'll have to check my one later. But just like you, after watching that trailer, I'm like, okay, let me jump back into Assassin's Creed and see. And I was just like, I'm a little bit hooked back on it. There's still some. I'm like, man, I got to remember some of the gameplay stuff, because I'm just like, I was trying to do some Prince of Persia stuff, and just like this game is not Prince of Persia. I can't flip over 'em
Yeah,
and everything.
you can in Odyssey though. Odyssey is
Mhm.
like even though they're structured similarly, right? Like
Yeah,
I remember I loaded up Origins because I was like, I want to see how Origins feels compared to Odyssey, and like Origins is definitely heavier, and I went to jump off like a cliff to land on the ground below,
Yeah.
just so I could get there faster. And in Odyssey, after you hit like level 15 or something, you can upgrade to that stat to like you can jump from high places and not take damage. Like that's a
Yeah.
part of the upgrade tree. I died in Origins because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. So
yeah,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely feels a lot different.
yeah. And it kind of, I was just like looking at Origins because I haven't hooked up my PS4 to do it. That's why I want to hook it up to my one. Looking at it, I'm just like, yeah, or Odyssey is very colorful and it stands out. Origins, like if you're not playing on 4K, it looks fine. But then when you are, I'm like, ooh, this looks a little bit bland. And I think it's because of the color palette, you being in a desert, which I can understand. Um, but yeah, I'm excited for Valhalla. I'm going to be getting it. Hopefully, I'll have my Series X and I'll play it there. It's nice that they're doing the where are they? What are they calling it now? Is it Play Anywhere, or
It's
did they give a name for it?
I mean, it's still Play Anywhere, but are you talking just specifically about Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
Yeah, like if you buy for Xbox One, you could
Oh, they're
get the
just
upgrade.
it's just the smart delivery stuff.
Smart delivery. Okay, so
Yeah, so
yeah,
I
I
mean,
didn't know.
that
I didn't
that
know
is
what the name was for
that
it.
is really smart that Xbox or they got that out of the way for Xbox, and that's now the second third party game that's confirmed that. Obviously, Cyberpunk was the first, but nothing confirmed for PlayStation on that front. By the way,
When that actually be well, second for third party, but I'm assuming that's the third game because I'm like, wouldn't that be the same thing for Gears 5?
I'm talking about third party games.
Oh, well, yeah, that's what I said.
They
Second.
confirmed all first party games are going to be smart delivery.
Okay, so okay,
Yeah.
that's why I said like I was trying to say third, like in general, in total that we know of, but knowing that they'll do it for all of their games, okay, that I understand. But yeah, doing that for Ubisoft, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I think what you just pop in your Xbox One copy, and I guess it just updates.
Yeah, it's similar to what they're doing for backwards compatible stuff too. It's like if you know your game, they're gonna just have that software ready to go. So if you pop in whatever game you have, you're gonna get the best possible version of that game. Let's little technical difficulties. It's all right. You know what? It's all right. Ed'll be back on a normal computer momentarily, but until then, let's get into some of this housekeeping. This is Nintendo Pow Block. Each and every week, Edward and I come to you live right here on Boss Rush Games Live on Twitch and Mixer to talk about the latest news, rumors, releases, and your questions. If you can't join us live, no big deal. You can head on over to youtube.com/BossRushGames and podcast services every Saturday morning. Remember to like, subscribe, share, rate, and review, and check out all of our content on BossRushGames.com. Ed, we have a giveaway. It's our second giveaway for episode 195, which is next week, leading up to our huge celebration of episode 200. The rules are simple. Email the show at nintendopowblock@gmail.com with a screenshot of your podcast subscription and episode you're listening to. A screenshot of your rating and review of us on Apple Podcasts will grant you a second entry. Ed, remind everybody what they could be winning next week.
You could be winning a hard case of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild for your Nintendo Switch. You could win Overwatch for Nintendo Switch and a full year of Nintendo Online.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nintendo Online and Overwatch. Incredible deal and a nice Zelda case.
Yes.
Ed, can I enter to win?
Sure. Yes, you can.
Nice. Just kidding, guys. I'm not really going to enter to win. But it would be... I've been playing around with the idea of Overwatch on Switch just to play something, mindless. Well, not mindless. Mindless is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Just kind of 1 or 2 matches and then go to bed. But I have so many other games on Switch right now that I could just do that anyway. So, but Ed, how's your technical side going? Should we keep going? Should we get through this first news story here?
Let's take a break, and then we'll get into the news story. My Skype is up and about to come on, and I'm going to hop on. So
right. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back with the news right after this. We're going to get into some of this news, Ed. First off, a little bit of happy news here before we get into this negative piece of news. I didn't send this to you, but I just found it. Games I Want Ported to Nintendo Switch Twitter hashtag has gone viral in Japan. I just want to...
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I just want to lead off with some titles suggested, the leading titles on this hashtag in Japan. Metroid Fusion, Metroid Zero Mission, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Star Fox Assault, Star Fox Zero, Batten Kaitos and Batten Kaitos Origins, Skies of Arcadia Legends, Arc Rise Fantasia. I don't know what that is. Do you know what that is?
Arc Rise Fantasia. Yeah, I do, but it's been a long time since I've seen it.
Yeah. Phantasy Star Online, Armored Core, Super Mario Sunshine, Super Mario 64, F-Zero GX, Star Fox Adventure. Ooh, that's a decent one. The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, HD, Golden Sun. There's 3 or 4 titles there. Disney Universe, surprisingly, is one of them. I think it was like a multiplayer game, kind of like Little Big Planet before Disney Infinity took off, where you kind of had your own little characters that you could dress up in Disney costumes.
Gotcha.
Wipeout the Game, Super Mario 3D World, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Also, Fire Emblem Awakening, Fire Emblem Fates, Portal 1 and 2, Dishonored 1 and 2, Fallout 3, New Vegas, and 4 with all DLC on cart, please. That's all trending in Japan. So that was a happy piece of news there. What do you think about that list? I think that's a pretty good list. I mean, obviously there's a lot more, but...
Yeah, really great list. When you mentioned Armored Core, I'm like, hey, Armored Core never came to a Nintendo console. Well, they do got David Next Machina.
Yeah, just saying.
I can see it happen. I can see it.
Yeah. So it's a pretty good list there. So
yes,
but I thought that was pretty interesting that hashtag was trending in Japan of all places. So,
right.
But anyways, let's get into this next piece of news here. This one's a much bigger deal. Massive Nintendo leak reveals all about the Wii generation, source code, design files, and much, much more. Also includes footage of Nintendo 64 demos, which have surfaced online. Yeah, this is a pretty big leak. There's apparently been another massive Nintendo leak. We didn't talk about it, but a bunch of Nintendo accounts got hacked last week with unauthorized sign-ins. So you can no longer sign into your Nintendo account with your Nintendo Network ID. You must sign in with a secure email address, and they also have two-point authentication set up that you should probably do if you haven't already. But there's apparently been another massive Nintendo leak, but there's no need to worry about it spoiling the surprise for anyone, as the findings have nothing to do with Japanese company's current generation of gaming. Reset Era user by the name of Ethereos explains what exactly all the fuss is about. Quote, as you may be aware, in the last few weeks in 4chan, multiple Nintendo-related old things have been leaking, starting with old Pokemon debug ROMs and source code. That was also another interesting thing we never talked about. The apparent 4th original Pokemon game, Pokemon Pink, apparently leaked. Let's see. Old Pokemon debug ROMs and source code. Then the most recent 3DS debug ROMs. Then keys for all consoles up until the DSi. And now the biggest of them all, a full source code, design files, documentation, and pretty much everything used to create the revolution, aka the Wii. So how did this happen? The servers of brought on were supposedly hacked. This company was hired by Nintendo during the Wii generation to develop both hardware and software. The same post goes on to explain how, quote, the biggest and craziest thing about the leak are the data sheets, block diagram, the Verilog files, and for every component. So they pretty much could break down the Wii down to the most, microscopic piece of software and hardware, down to the numbers. So pretty big stuff. There's even some, quote, GameCube and iQ stuff within the same leak, and below is footage of one of many Nintendo 64 demos that have now been uploaded online. This is believed to be a demo ROM used by Nintendo to test the system. It's called Mirror House Cornflakes. So I don't know if you watched that demo, but it's pretty stupid. I'm so glad this game does not exist. So pretty massive leak. This just sounds very Nintendo,
Some people have been at home bored, so they probably been trying to hack stuff to see what they could get and what they can't get. Since there's really nobody at the building to stop it or anything.
Yeah. Do you think this is a big deal? I mean, do you think this is how do you feel about this? Do you think this is something to worry about, or?
I don't have a feeling, it's nothing for me to really worry about, or even Nintendo should worry about, because you hacked in and you got old information, but
I mean, this information is 15 years old at this point.
Right.
Can't believe I'm saying the Wii is 15 years old, but
right, and Nintendo's just we'll find whoever we need to find and sue the tail off of them. You hacked in and got old data. Don't nobody play a GameCube, and by the time the specs came out for these original systems, someone like Digital Foundry could have got those specs and built a PC that would run the same thing or even better. So it's just you hacked in, got some old stuff, and N64 demo, but I'm just a lot of people don't think about those systems anymore because of how Switch is doing. So I'm I think Nintendo's gonna be looking for who hacked them, and they're gonna go after that person, and that would be that. But I don't think Nintendo needs to worry about anything, because the people who tried to sue them, they lost. Nintendo won everything with that, so I think Panasonic, the Panasonic one, I think they lost, but I think that they got that one overturned. If not, then that would be the only one that they lost. But I think they got that one overturned though.
Yeah.
So it's not such a big deal.
I mean, to me, this just is the next step of emulation and ROMs and stuff. That people are playing Nintendo 64 games and HD GameCube games on the Dolphin emulator, right? And
right.
I mean, this is the Wii is just a logical next step anyway. People have been trying to hack the Wii for years and try to get their source code online, and this is just somebody just did it. So
right. I can understand it being beneficial to other countries outside America who if they're now just getting a Wii or trying to get something that's modern that they're now just selling it. I can understand that, but here in America, we pushed on from that.
Yeah. So I mean, it is what it is, I guess, but.
Right.
If it gets worse, obviously we'll talk about it more. But we're going to move on to our next story now, Ed. Since it's Star Wars week, it's Star Wars Day if you're listening to this live, but it is Star Wars week, May the 4th, obviously. And Fortnite is at it again, bringing back lightsabers and the Star Wars skins for a limited time. Cool little thing, but as you know, as people know, Fortnite is still one of the biggest games in the world, and they are going to be a part of all pop culture things that are happening. So, I mean,
Yeah.
They have the Avengers stuff. They had some DC stuff recently with the Birds of Prey movie, and now Star Wars is back. I think the new movie was released on Disney Plus, so I think Son and I are going to watch it this weekend. But yeah, you can. What? Sorry.
Oh, I was thinking of Birds of Prey. I'm like, is that on DVD now, Blu-ray?
I think so. I think they were releasing it early. It's at least on digital. I know that.
Okay.
So
I was just like, I'm like, I've been at Target and I haven't seen this movie. I'm like, where's it at?
yeah. So in case you need a refresher on this Star Wars event, you can get Rey, Kylo Ren, and Sith Trooper outfits. You can also find 4 different colored lightsabers on the field. So, green, red, blue, and purple. So, also, in terms of Star Wars releases, a lot of Star Wars games are on sale on the Switch eShop, including Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and Star Wars Pinball. Next week, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer comes out. So, that's all your latest Star Wars news here and Fortnite news, all wrapped up in one top. Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is coming to the Switch as well as the other platforms, and it seems to be pretty ambitious. They released some new art today, as well as confirming that you can play as over 500 characters, and they are redoing a lot of the assets and a lot of the original games that came out. They're really rebuilding them from the ground up and actually expanding on them. So I think this is going to be a pretty big game for them. I'm actually kind of excited for this one. I'm not really huge on the Lego games. There's a few that I've gotten into. I really enjoy the Pirates game, the Pirates of the Caribbean one, and I really enjoyed the Indiana Jones ones for sure. But I mean, it's just one of those things that's hit or miss, Like I didn't really care for the Marvel ones, but I'm also not a big Marvel guy, right? So
yeah,
it's one of those things. It's kind of like the Telltale games, right? Like you play the ones that you're interested in, and you kind of skip the ones that you don't care for. So are you going to pick up this one? Are you?
I get lost in the Lego games because I'm like, what am I really doing? Like, what is my goal or mission? I'll check everywhere to get all the Lego pieces and stuff, and it'd be like, you are only at 92%. I'm like, what the heck? So this one I can skip. It's not. I don't own any of the Lego games or anything like that. I think the only one that I do own was the Lego City one that got ported from Wii U to Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the only one that I own. Other than that, nah, I could pass.
No, I understand. I mean, the Lego games aren't for everybody, but they're obviously kind of aimed towards younger children. But still, something...
which is funny because people used to buy those games for the strategy guide, and I'm like, you need a strategy guide for this? Nah.
I mean, you gotta collect those studs, You gotta
but the
collect
kids
those
can't read.
That's not my fault. I didn't.
I'm just saying. I'm like, you buying a strategy guide for a kid who can't read.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I didn't make this up. I'm just telling you what's happening. So,
I'm just saying.
I'm just here to deliver the news, Ed. Okay. I'm just here to talk about games, and this was something that came up. So.
I know.
Just saying. So, if you're looking forward to the Skywalker Saga, was there a release date? Did we? Yeah, it's coming out soon. You'll buy it when it comes out, or when there's a sale. I don't know. So, we're gonna get into our last story here on the news. Not really a big news story, but still something worth checking out. The Nintendo more leaked documents. More leaked documents show why Nintendo uses friend codes instead of screen names. One of the more noticeable differences when playing online on a Nintendo console as opposed to its rival systems is the lack of screen names, whereas Xbox Lobby is full and brim of people called, XOX Dark Destroyer 782 and the like. Nintendo players are forced to remain rather plain with a friend code with a system in place of unique and player-designed usernames. There are pros and cons of Nintendo's methods for sure, but to dig out the random 12-digit code every time a friend wants to add you gets a little tiresome, especially when you can simply search by your friends' names on the other consoles. So there's a big doc here that says, the friend code. To realize this friend function, 12-digit friend codes are used. At first, there were opinions that instead of 12-digit numbers, a freely chosen screen name would be better. Problems with using screen names include there's a high probability of duplicate screen names. When this happens, multiple re-entries are required. Conflicts with, quote, simple principle. It's possible to guess someone's screen name by trying different variations of their actual name. It conflicts with the comfortable principle. So these are Nintendo developer notes, and this looks like a 2003 PowerPoint presentation. So,
Wow.
Yeah, so essentially Nintendo wanted a simple and comfortable principle when putting these things on the Wii, and that's why we saw friend codes today. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And
awesome.
I know they just want to make it more safety and more secure. Um, you don't want you kind of don't want what swatting to happen and stuff, and you don't want different people fighting out your name, and then you get threatened and things like that. I think at that time there was a lot of bad and negative stuff with online gaming from different people, and I think Nintendo's just like, we don't want to be having that for our platform, because we want to make games for everybody, but we want stuff to be safe. Yes, it is annoying for some things, but I'm like, we rather be safe and annoying than just easy and about and then have all of these problems.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the friend code is pretty annoying, but I mean, at the same time, I guess if you really want to be friends bad enough with somebody, you're going to dig it out. But the thing that's most annoying to me is like how you just can't have like a party system and stuff. Like the friend code is like the least of my worries when it comes to Nintendo Online. So, well, Ed, that ends the news section. We're going to get into the eShop drop. As always, Ed, we're going to start with you.
Ah, yes. Well, we have Star Wars Episode 1 Racer coming out May 12th. Now, this is pod racing. The 90s classic Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is coming to Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4, complete with modernized controls. Lucasfilm and developer Aspyr announced today, or that's the way that I'm reading, a beloved racing title based on the pod racing sequence from Star Wars. The Phantom Menace Star Wars Episode 1 Racer puts you behind the controls of your favorite pod racer as you speed through flaming methane lakes, Tusken Raider assaults, anti-gravity tunnels, and much more in a post-pondy do-or-die fight to the finish line.
Super Mega Baseball 3 comes out May 13th. Run up the score in a relaxed slugfest or push the limits of your reflexes in this refined baseball simulator. The third entry in the series features an all-new franchise mode, major graphical enhancements, and on-field additions including pickoffs and situational player traits.
Eon Furry is coming out May 14th. 3D Realms creators of Duke Nukem 3D, Prey, and Max Payne are excited to team up with Voidpoint to bring back the legendary build engine, famously known for classic first-person shooters like Duke Nukem 3D, Shadow Warrior, and Blood. Eon Furry is the real deal.
Oh, well, you know it's not the real deal, that description. They said Duke Nukem 3D, I think, 3 times in one sentence. So, last on the eShop drop this coming week is Oddworld Munch's Odyssey, coming out May 14th. Player's Guide, Mudokan champion Abe and his aquatic Gabbit partner Munch, an Oddworld's third adventure, using special psychic powers, cool power-ups, and other special abilities to deliver payback as they reclaim the last Gambit eggs on Oddworld, which have been packaged in a can of Gabiar. But we're going to get into our question block. Remember, you can email the show at nintendopowblock@gmail.com for your question to be read on the air. Just like Matt Saigon? Hello, guys. I just found your show through my quarantine, and I'm really enjoying what you all are doing. Another great Nintendo show to keep in my rotation. My question is, how do you think Nintendo is going to approach Nintendo Directs for the remainder of the year? Thanks for the good stuff.
I think the way that they've been doing it, I think we probably won't have a person like there to like visibly see and announce it. We might still get developers who might shoot something at their home or something like that, and then like send it to Nintendo for them to edit. They're probably still. I like how they was doing it where it's the bar thing, like it was the list coming down, and they were showing what was next and stuff. I kind of like what they was doing with that. I think they're just going to be giving us announcement to announcement to announcement, and it's going to still be like be 25 to 30 minutes. So I don't think they're going to change anything. I think they're still going to roll it out like it's just like a regular Nintendo Direct that we've been known for. That they've been known for. So,
yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I think the Nintendo Direct minis are going to be more of a staple. Mm-hmm. Kind of getting between 20 and 30 minutes of information every couple months instead of a big drop. I know that there's a rumor going around. We didn't touch on it in the news because there's no real source to it, but that Nintendo won't have a June Direct where they would have one at E3. So, I feel like maybe they'll have one either towards the end of May or towards the end of June or beginning of July, just to give us a quick look at their fall lineup. I mean, we know games that are coming out through July at this point.
Yes.
So, I mean, they really don't need a Direct, but it would be nice to have one, sometime in July, beginning of August, to lay out their fall plans. Just because we don't really know what's coming out after July. It's just... I would really like to know what to be excited for this fall. And I know they might go light this fall. They're either going to go really light this fall, like with the Mario 35th anniversary stuff. I mean, not that that's light stuff, but... or they're going to bring some heavy hitters to try to compete with Xbox and PlayStation. I think it's going to be the former. I think a 35th anniversary stuff is going to be a big smash hit. I think a lot of people have a lot of fondness for Mario 64 and Mario Galaxy specifically. I also am looking forward to Mario 3D World if that ends up coming. But
possibility, we may get more EA stuff. And I think if EA can bring more games to Switch, I think it'll be very interesting. Of course, we're going to get ports and first-party games, and we'll get some indie games and stuff.
I think we're going to see... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, I think we're going to see some third-party ports of stuff, like you said, from EA. And there was a small rumor floating around that Assassin's Creed... Ezio Collection is going to come to Switch as well. That makes sense, right? 2 years ago we got Assassin's Creed 3 remastered. Yes. Last year we got the Rogue Collection. I mean, if you're going to put older game that series on Switch, I think the older games is the way to go. So, everybody likes Ezio and that collection. So,
yeah. I kind of, I think Capcom and Konami will have something. I think Bandai Namco will have something. I think we'll get our Japanese games, but from our American developers, I think Bethesda probably will be ready to go with Doom Eternal. because we don't have a concrete date for that. That may be one of the leading games for the fall because I don't feel like it's the right time to bring that game in the summer.
Yeah,
Like,
I think. Well, speaking of Bethesda, I think that you could see a Fallout port similar
yeah,
to the because Iron Galaxy's been kind of quiet recently. They did the Skyrim port, and they also did they did something else fairly recently. Also, not for Bethesda, but for who did they do it for? I forget. They did something very recently for Switch that was pretty well received as a good port. So I think you could see them port one of the Fallout games. I'm assuming 3 or New Vegas. Probably 3. I'm assuming because Bethesda. I mean, they've been very unaccepting of how well everybody likes New Vegas since it was Obsidian and not them, right? Mm-hmm. And I think 4 is too big of a game for them to push on the Switch. So I think Fallout 3 is actually a good candidate for them to port over.
yeah, I think we'll probably get definitely limited run games, Nicholas games. I think we'll see some more arcade archives, but for games that we've never heard of. And arcade games that bit in Japan that'll be coming over here.
Well, there's been some SNK game Neo Geo Pocket Color games making their way over to Switch, so it'd be really interesting to see those companies bring those games over too. You know,
I have a feeling like if Nintendo and Konami could just talk, I'm like, bring Silent Hill to Switch, because I think with the HD Rumble, I think they really could. I'm like, if you could fuse Silent Hill and Metroid Prime together, more Metroid Prime 3 than anything else, like doing the hand stuff or gestures with that, I really think that could be really creepy. And I think a lot of people would be like, what is this craziness? Well, it's a Silent Hill game, so I'll try it. No, it don't have to be a Pachinko game, but I'm like, really bring something Konami to Switch, because I think people are willing to be like, oh, Konami got something on Switch, I'll buy it there.
Sorry, my mic was muted. The cat decided to poop right now, so there's been a few rumored games out there, like obviously Atlas's a big library. They asked what games you wanted, and magically Catherine appeared on the Switch's catalog for this year. So but there's some bigger indie games that I think people want to see, like Outer Wilds was a pretty big hit on Xbox and PlayStation. Nier Automata has been rumored for a while. Persona, I know everybody wants Persona 5, right?
Yeah.
So, there's some pretty big Japanese games probably coming. I know Disco Elysium is going to be a pretty big game this year.
Yeah, that's going to be big. And there's stuff from the PC E3 show that haven't appeared yet that people would love to see on Switch, or some of them that is coming out to come to Switch. I as crazy as it sounds, I would love to see Remnant from the Ashes on Switch. Mm-hmm. I would be buying it again. I think people would be like, "Oh, this is another Souls game," because it's not. It's graphically okay, but it's not too impressive or anything. But I think a lot of people will play it there, also, because it was where we see. So I'm just like, well, why not?
Mm-hmm.
To bring it there. So I think, like I said, there's going to be some ports, arcade games, and there's some first party stuff, and what they did with good job, how Nintendo published some indie games, I would love to see more of that. That they reached out and published some indie titles with some,
or let indie developers work on their IP. Look how well Cadence of Hyrule did, right? That was such a cool, smart little thing that they did.
Yeah.
So also another big one that is rumored. I don't know how likely it is, but Respawn is assessing their titles to put on Switch right now, and the leading one right now is Apex Legends. So They also mentioned Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order on here, but I think that game is pretty. I don't know. Actually, I could actually see Jedi Fallen Order on Switch more than something like Titanfall. Although I think Titanfall 2 would be preferred. At this point, but we'll see. So I'm scrolling through this Nintendo Life list of ports they want to see, but yeah, I think Nintendo's got a pretty strong year ahead of them in terms of third parties and indies and stuff. I just want to know what their first party's putting out. So
hey, and people will still hold the Nintendo Directs higher than anything else.
Yeah. So, our last question here comes from Greg Osterman III. He asks, what do you think will happen with announcements this summer without E3, Gamescom, and PAX? What do you see from all companies? I think Jesse and I talked about this actually on
the Jeff Keighley thing
on Arsenal X. No, we were talking about how I really liked the last Inside Xbox because it cut out all the things I hated about it. The overproduced kind of acting, like the acted hype and stuff. Like it cut all that out, and it just felt way more real and at
natural.
home. And natural is a great word for it. And like that's what I really loved about it. And I think this is an opportunity for someone like Xbox to really hone that in and really deliver a really quality connected experience for that. I think Xbox has the strongest I think, like I told Jesse, I think Xbox is in a perfect storm right now where everything is going their way. They have Game Pass, they have strong third party support, they have a new Halo game for launch. They have an awesome Hellblade game coming. Like
like I said in the chat when you guys was talking, I was at work and I was sitting in the chat stuff. I was just like, it's not that it's working in their favor. Xbox need this. I mean, they need it because they need to stay present. They need to stay in the mind that, yes, we do have a system come out, but we want to make sure that our marketing stays up so you guys keep talking about us and being interested in what we have for you guys. Because the moment they stop marketing and they stop talking, it becomes worrisome. Everybody's gonna be like, well, what is Microsoft up to? I mean, they were talking in the beginning of the year and now they're not saying nothing. So Microsoft got to keep that rolling. I agree with you. They're doing a fantastic job. Definitely with Game Pass. We're talking about Series X. What they did with Digital Foundry was one of the smartest things they did this year, marketing wise, to get that system out, teaming up with them and noticing the work that they put in to be like, if we work with Digital Foundry to get our marketing stuff out, they would be better to explain it and people would tune in more to them than anything else. Because without a shadow of a doubt, every time you see a game come out for Nintendo or even a game come out, everybody's looking at Digital Foundry now. Like on how popular they have become. So it was smart for Microsoft to do that. And so hopefully Sony does the same thing. Get to Digital Foundry and get to talking and stuff. Like I think Microsoft, I think for Nintendo right now, and with no E3, no PAX, none of that. When PAX was happening, the last time they had PAX, and everybody was just hoping that we get news out. Nobody was talking about any video game news out of PAX. We had nothing. So Nintendo's Direct is our E3, like I said, every year. Inside Xbox is going to be what Microsoft needs, and definitely with their like the weekly roundup thing that they be doing almost every Friday or something now on Xbox. That would keep us informed on stuff that's coming. Hopefully, like once State of Play like really gets to rolling for Sony, they could roll that out more frequently. And we could get information right there. Just because we don't have the conventions doesn't mean that we're going to stop getting announcements and getting trailers and stuff. It's just the way and how they're going to roll out. We all see like a rumor or a leak because a certain game might appear on a store's list in a different country.
Yeah.
So we get some kind of hype about that to be like, what are you guys hitting at? If this is true, that hypeness and stuff, or I would say that rumor returned into a prediction. So that's replacing our E3 predictions if it happens. And we all, like I said earlier, like we all tune into a Nintendo Direct to see what are they going to announce. And if they announce something that is really unexpected, that's our E3. That's kind of what we love about E3. We love to be surprised and be like, whoa, what the heck? Like, still blown that Microsoft owns Ninja Theory. Yep. That was way out of the blue. Yeah. No one would have predicted that. It's stuff like that. Us seeing the Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, seeing Control at PlayStation's when they had it, to be like, what the world is this? This is Remedy? Like stuff like that is what we're going to be looking for, and we kind of don't need different conventions to relay that message. It would be good if getting that information from Germany, which is Gamescom, Tokyo Game Show, which is definitely in Japan, because they showing stuff that we don't know about, and definitely E3, where it is pretty much for us content creators to speculate and watch it together and make it feel like it's a community thing. We may not actually be at the show, but we are watching it live with everybody else and having that same reaction or different reactions.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah. I totally hear. I can't agree more with what you're saying. By the way, kind of not really breaking news, but EA announced about an hour ago that they are going to do EA Play Live 2020 Digital Showcase on June 11th. So we'll have that to look forward to, and that's from Nintendo Enthusiast has tweeted that out. So that's maybe we'll see some Nintendo games from them, and that's what makes it exciting. Is like, yeah, Switch is getting great third-party support, but the support that they're getting, like, you can always be surprised what you're going to get from third-party support, right? Like,
yes.
I mean, we got Doom 1, 2, and 3 this year.
And Doom 64.
Yeah, and Doom 64. I mean, that's... Who would have ever thought that those games would be coming to Switch, right? Like, we got Bulletstorm of all games, which I got on Switch for $23.99, by the way, on sale.
Shoot. Like I said, go check our reactions for Doom and Wolfenstein 2, where we were just like, wait, what?
Yeah. And, I mean, there's going to be a lot, and there's going to be a lot of surprises. Like, there's going to be games you would have never thought of in a million years come to Switch, right?
Yes.
And then there's going to be, like, the most obvious ones. So, I don't know. I feel like this year is going to be a great year, and I can't wait to see what Switch is going to have for us. So,
right. And the last thing I say is because next year when things get back to normal, or we get our conventions and stuff back, I think we're going to be excited to have E3 come back.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. I hope that we don't have another round of this coronavirus next year. I hope, everybody who's working hard trying to find something to fix this is close. So
yeah,
but we will see. But this summer's going to be really different. Ed and I are still gonna do some watch-alongs and hang out and talk about what they're announcing and everything. So whether Nintendo has a Direct in May, June, July, or August, obviously we're gonna watch them all. So, but that's gonna do it. That's gonna be our episode of Nintendo Pow Block. Kind of a short show for us this week, but nonetheless a good one. So, thank you to everybody who joined us live. If you are watching live, stay tuned. We're going to stream some indie games for our Indie Masterclass show coming in June, so you can get a sneak peek of those if you want to continue to stick around. But if you are listening on podcast services, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Remember to like, subscribe, rate, review, share with your friends. It's always a good time. You can join us on Mixer and Twitch live every week at Boss Rush Games Live. You can also watch us live on our website at bossrushgames.com/subscribe, where you can also follow us on social media, download us from your favorite podcast service, stream us from Spotify or YouTube, all that good stuff. So, Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode, and you can check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud and other podcast apps. Also, guys, check out the Boss Rush Games community page. We have placed our bookmarks for the book club for this month. And I also have a video up that you guys can check on Boss Rush Games on our YouTube channel. I do a playthrough of the intro, so you guys can check that out. It's about 58 minutes, so hopefully you guys watch it, it interests you, and you join us to play Control for this month.
Yeah. You can find me at IamCorianHD on Twitter and CorianHD on Mixer. You can also find us both on the Boss Rush podcast and download our Xbox show, Arsenal X. You can find all of our content on BossRushGames.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/BossRushGames and follow us on Twitter at Pow Block Podcast. And I keep forgetting that exists, so keep going over there and check out what's new. Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And until next week, we love you.
Bye, everybody. Woohoo!